had some difficult results of late. How did tonight play out for you with this convincing victory?
Well, it's a good win against a very good team. I thought Portland was dangerous throughout the game, and our guys responded well. Clearly, the 3 goals in the first half were huge, and we knew they would come at us real strong to start the second half, and we weathered the storm. And in the last 15, 20 minutes of the game, we settled in the right way to try to just protect our lead and get out of here with 3 points, and we did a good job with that. But they're a very good team, so we're pleased with the win. Nice to see Espinoza get a couple of goals, and obviously Chicho had 1, maybe 2 goals, could add another one. I thought Buda did a good job on the night. A nice starting debut for DeJuan Jones. He did a good job, and I think the team was pretty solid. But they're a dangerous team. They were threatening for 90 minutes.
Abram.
Hey, Coach. How gratifying was it for you to recruit DeJuan Jones, and then so quickly after that he makes such a big impact for you?
Well, I've known him a long time, so I'm not surprised what I saw. And he came here in fairly decent form in Columbus, even though he didn't get starts there for the last couple of weeks. But I'm not surprised by his play, and I think he's just going to get better.
Go ahead, Michael.
All right, Coach, you guys had that 3-0 start to the game, and then they scored right before halftime. So at halftime, did you warn them of losing the momentum, or did you know that you guys would come out in the second half and take care of business?
Well, we knew that we're playing a good team, and they were going to come at us strong in the opening minutes of the second half, and they did. And as I said, we weathered the storm there and settled in a little bit, and we're threatening. And I guess we had 1 goal called back, and then the penalty called back, which I haven't seen it on film, but everybody tells me that he was fouled. So I have no idea what VAR is doing at all, to be honest with you.
Kev.
Hey Bruce, can you talk about the knock-on effect that having DeJuan in the lineup has, mainly keeping Christian up in the
Well,
forward
that
line?
certainly helps to push Christian closer to goal, and it obviously paid off tonight.
Marco.
Bruce, were you a little surprised that, because Portland they came out flat in those first 35 minutes, to allowed you guys to take advantage of that?
I wouldn't say they came out flat. I thought they were on top of us in the first 15 minutes of the game. That's my opinion. They were good in the first half. We were fortunate to be up 3-0 because they had some, they were threatening for sure.
Brian and Paul.
So, as of late, it's been a little bit of up and down stretch, but without, being able to look at the video yet, how close to this being the best, all the way through effort have you seen this season?
It was a good effort. We've had other games. There are games we should have walked away with a point or 3 and failed. So we haven't. We had some poor games. I think Kansas City we played poorly. Charlotte we played poorly. But the other games we were in those games and didn't get the kind of results that I would have liked. So it's all part of it. We're only 11 games in. There's a lot ahead. So. We're making progress, and hopefully we can be a little bit more consistent in our play.
And a little follow-up there. On Wednesday, you're playing that first U.S. Open Cup, the Lamar Hunt Open Cup game. Are you going to see a lot of the young guys on Wednesday, or are we going to see kind of the starting lineup?
We're going to field a team that can win the game. We'll take some inventory tomorrow of our players, see where they're at, and make a decision. We have a difficult stretch now. I think we have 7 games or 9 games. I can't remember now. We might have 7 or 9 games in the month of May. I can't remember exactly what it was.
So more.
Well, if we win the Open Cup game, we'll have another Open Cup game in the month. So we have a lot of games ahead of us. So we're going to be rotating players one way or the other. And obviously Wednesday will be an opportunity to use some fresh players.
Go ahead, Paul.
Bruce, congratulations for the victory. What was the key to find that consistency back in the game? And what do you think about the contribution of players in the 90 minutes?
The water players?
The
the con-
contribution, the all players,
Yeah, the,
goalkeeper.
You know, everyone did a solid job tonight. The first part of your question was?
How do you guys find that consistency back? Thank you.
Well, that's a good question. If I knew that, we wouldn't have 6 losses right now. So, you know, we're just working real hard with the team every day. They have a good approach to things, and yeah, we're trying to get a little bit more consistent. And I think, you know, as we get through the first half of the season, hopefully by game 18, that we have a really clear idea of our team. And hopefully that'll allow us to be a little bit more consistent in our play.
All right, last questions, we'll go with Jeff and then Ivan.
Hey, Coach, first congrats on the win. You mentioned it'll be 11 games per season. You're still trying to see, still trying to see what you have with this team. Two-part, what if you have darts on just where this team is 11 games? And also, is consistency just the biggest thing you're kind of looking for as you get closer to halfway?
Well, you know, your record is your record, so we're 4-6-1. So we're not, you know, we're not pleased where we are at the moment. I think we can be better. Obviously, we have the club has a new coach, a new staff, and this is all new for the players. So we're trying to create an improved environment here on a day-to-day basis, and hopefully that carries out and pays dividends. I don't think you see anything in the short term. I think, you know, when you see or you hear a lot of talk about where teams are at right now, I don't think you can do that. It's a long season. You know, when I won my first MLS Cup in 1996, I think we were 1-7 in our first 8 games. So there's a lot of soccer ahead. You know, I don't know if we're going to be getting much better or we're going to go the other way. So it takes a little time, and I think, you know, we need to see our team get to the midway point before we can really determine where we're at and where we have to go.
Thank you.
We got Dewan coming in, so last question, go ahead, Ivan.
And what did you make of Sonny Buda's performance? He was able to get that goal at the end, but throughout with his combination play with...
Who are you talking about?
Sonny Buda.
Yeah, Buda played well on the night, yeah, and a nice goal at the end. Yeah, he you know, we put him in a position, I think, he's comfortable playing, and I think he was pretty solid. He's a promising player for sure.
Thanks, guys.